I already have a video up for Physicians Formula's shade expansion in their butter bronzers. They have 2 existing ones that are specifically geared towards darker skin. But in that video, I had stated to the brand, if you make the bronzers deeper and richer, we will show up, meaning people with darker skin. We will show up and we will buy. So now for spring 2019, 2 new shades are added to the collection. I want to real quickly show you the first 2 bronzers that are already part of the collection for 2018. Sunkissed I still feel would be best suited for medium skin tones. If you're fair skin, light skin, this will probably still show up a little bit darker on your skin, and then of course they have other bronzers that are for the paler skin. But I do see this one being more towards the medium skin tone, but I wouldn't necessarily say the tan skin. So that's Sunkissed. The next one that they expanded last year, this one is called Deep. Now, this is the one where I'm medium dark. I can wear this. It's a subtle depth of warmth. I can see it on my cheeks. I can see it really close up in my magnifying mirror. The deep bronzer is also the shade that I notice is usually in the brands, whatever, if they have like a palette collection, like they had a butter collection, they're going to have one that's for light skin. Then if they're going to have one that says medium to deep, they tend to toss in the deep bronzer. Now for the 2 new ones. First up is going to be the shade Brazilian Glow, and it's the same packaging, just like everything else, the whole tropical vibe. Once you pull it up, you have the mirror just like the other one. I tried to get this up real close in the camera. I have a low ISO and a natural sunlight, which is where I film, because I really was trying to get the color as true to life as possible for you. Here's the footage that I shot for you to see as far as the swatch and the application. For every swatch, as far as on my face, I made sure to put foundation on my face as well as set that a little bit with some powder. That way the bronzer would just look as it would look if I was, of course, doing my makeup that day. Personally, I do not gravitate towards shimmery bronzers. I'll just do my highlighter if I want some extra shimmer. So I want my bronzers to either be matte, add a lot of warmth and some depth, but I don't want some over glittery or some shimmer added to it. Now, Brazilian Glow is a shade that I do recommend for, we're going down into the darker tan series. We're in the darker arena, but we're light dark skin. We're medium dark skin, like my skin tones. Anything beyond my skin tone, I see Brazilian Glow only showing up on you as, let's say, a true highlighter. If that's the look that you're after, something more of a subtle highlighter, because the shimmer in here is so incredibly fine and so incredibly subtle, then that's you. If you want a subtle highlighter, you can wet your brush and make it a little bit more intense. But that's the skin tone range I see for Brazilian Glow. And the last new bronzer for the deeper series, it's called Endless Summer. Now this is the one that I naturally will gravitate towards. It is the bronzer that I usually go towards more the darker shades, but it has a bit of red added to it, which when my skin naturally deepens, and it doesn't deepen that much, I usually tend to stay the same skin tone shade throughout the year, I see that warmth, that red base coming out. So I do love bronzers that have that red base tone to it, and again, it really just makes your own blush, whatever shade you put on, just pop like that. The more that you build up with Endless Summer, the richer the warmth just comes through, and it's quick. I have been wearing Endless Summer 2 ways and with 2 different type of style of brushes. The first one would be the brush that I tend to reach for any type of bronzing purposes. Now this is a brush that you can't get anymore. This is from Crown, but it is tapered, only slight tapered, and it's only slightly dense. So it still gives enough of like that fluffy brush effect, so I can just warm up the cheeks and really just move the powder. I really do like brushes that look like this. So at first application, it starts to build and I can see it, but then the more I start to apply as far as a second layer, and I don't go beyond 2, but you can build this up, builds up fairly fast. You can just really see that warmth coming through. Now, if I really wanted a stronger bronze intense look, what I tend to do, like if I'm going to go to the beach or if I'm going to go to the pool, I know I'm not going to put my face in the water, but I want to look a lot more darker than I appear. I tend to reach for brushes that are definitely a lot more dense in appearance. This is from Smith. It's the 115 brush. Now this is a foundation brush. So if you find, let's say you want that effect as well, find something that's much more shorter haircut, denser, packed at the top, and then it's just shaped, whoops, shaped a little bit more like that. So that's what I prefer. See, I've already been using it as that. So what I do is I will dip into the brush, kind of swirl it in, but what I do to get rid of the excess is I tend to always use the mirror cap. Even if there's a mirror here, again, I don't care if there's a mirror in the product, I'll use the mirror just to brush it off, get the excess off, and then start to apply it. These type of brushes that are denser like this will pack more of a punch onto your cheeks. So especially with Endless Summer, or even with something that's like the, where are you? The Brazilian Glow, same thing, you're going to get more of that highlighted effect. You're going to get more of that stronger bronzer look if you use a brush like that. The number one question that people, non-people of color ask is, well, why do you need bronzer? Now, you don't need bronzer, you're already dark enough. Bronzer will naturally bring out the flush in our skin if your skin is darker. We don't blush naturally as if our skin was fair. So that is one of the main things that I like to teach as far as for darker skin. You need to wear bronzer. That will just bring out and make your blush pop. So that's just a little tip I had to throw in there. It adds that depth. It adds that life into our skin too. Just as if we were walking outside in the sun too, it will change. We'll get that warmth. We'll get that depth. And it does make a difference on our skin. It will bring out our own natural skin tone. It looks sun-kissed, depending of course what color you get, more brown based, more red based bronzers, and it does make a difference. Also with darker skin, our skin also drinks up that warmth. So we can go a little bit more heavier. We can go a little bit more darker. It just looks natural and realistic. It produces the shade that lighter skin people get when they're self-tanning, when they're out there tanning in the sun. The same thing that you pay for, we get it naturally when we walk out into the sun. So we want that cosmetic product as well. And it's a market, but it's a market that is grossly overlooked. So I would recommend to physicians, you're getting there, but keep going. Let's see some deeper bronzers in the butter bronzer, because this is a formula that is smooth. We're not even talking so much about the scent, because I mean the scent is just, we know it's infamous, right? You open it up, you smell it, oh, it's the butter bronzer. But the formula itself, it's smooth. The shimmer in it is not like a disco ball. It's very natural and flattering on the skin. So keep going, physician. Keep going. Get more deeper bronzers. Let's hit the darker category and let's go further down even to the deep, rich tones. I did hold up a bronzer in the very first video for Sunkissed and the deeper bronzer. I believe the one I held up was from CoverGirl Queen. Go down to that level. And again, like I mentioned in that video, you make it, we will come and we'll buy it up. I do hope the swatches, the demonstration, a little bit extra tips here and there have been helpful for you. I would love to know if you plan on picking these up. What do you think about it? Are you excited? I'm excited that summer is on its way. I'm done. I'm done with winter. Spring, the summer, I'm a summer girl. Then of course fall gets here, and then September, hocus pocus time, my favorite. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day or evening. And as always, I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye everyone.